Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again. This is my Nioh level 1 Fist and Knees Raoh build. We are carving the legend of the Conqueror into the century's end, and I'm going to be taking on a Revenant because he's quite high level and I would like to get some high level stuff off him. And I wish that there was more things in this game that you could use the barehanded parry on, but as it stands, it seems to only be really humanoids. Oh, and he hit me with Sloth, which is great. So that guy spent all the time buffing like an idiot, only to get ruined by the fist, which I always found quite entertaining. But look how powerful this status effect is. It's so broken. You can use an item to remedy it and get it off you, which I imagine a lot of people will do when the PvP turns up, but it still doesn't get away from the fact that whoever thought that Sloth was a good idea either never played Souls games long enough to realise how important speed is, or just likes being able to break his own game, because that move is fucking ridiculous. Oh, this is fun too. There you go. If you walk past that slowly, it doesn't trigger, but if you try to go past it quickly, almost every time I get hit by that bomb, by that ground trap, so it might be worth firing it with your bow. I don't know if that neutralises it, might be a good option. But this is the level that they showed in the press releases before the game, and I'm still pissed off about that. Because I thought this was going to be way earlier on, and I like this level a lot. But it has to be said, folks, you know, if you're going to do the combat in this level, and I mean every encounter, it's probably the hardest combative stage in the game. Because it's very dense, it's very claustrophobic, it's got this warren of tunnels, and there's big enemies like the Raven Tengus, and like the tongue guys who... if you look into the yokai illustrations... in the menus, you can see the names of this fella, but I always forget this guy's name, so I just call him Licky Tongue. But as you push through here, there's going to be a guy with a bow, and there's going to be a heavy humanoid behind him. One of the standard, like, general guys. And I'm going to be passing through all of these, and passing through the Raven Tengu waiting for me here. I can kill all these enemies, it's not really worth the time to do it on a run like this, because everything takes so much. Even the dwellers take a beating when you try and fight them, and then you have to use your talismans, and it just, like, for the most, the bosses are the interesting part of this particular run, because you don't have enough tools to make the enemies very fun. If I was using a sword, that would be different, because each of the stances have the skills, but it really shows you the lacking quality of this moveset, and I'm super hoping that Team Ninja does something about that. Because they're promising 5 new weapon types in DLC. One of them could easily be a knuckle duster or a claw or some kind of fist-orientated weapon, and I'm definitely down for that because that sounds wonderful. But I sneak past the yokai who's examining a body, and I'm going to move over here. When I drop down on this ledge just here, I do this on instinct because there's usually, I think on the Twilight version of this, there's one of those wheel monks waiting for you, and I always just imagine him being there, and it's a bit of a douchey trap. It catches a lot of players. Run past the ground trap. There's a big group of enemies here that will get summoned by the conch shell, so you'll get massively overwhelmed there. There's ninjas and everything. It's a pretty cool trap, but you can completely skip it by hitting the bonfire. And now we have 2 fist talismans and I have 4 carnage talismans, which I wish I'd done that in reverse, and I should have probably respect, because if I have a fist talisman I have guaranteed damage. If I have a carnage talisman I don't. Because it's the fist talisman that matters. The combination of the two is kind of beautiful as we fight this guy who I call Jaggy because he looks a hell of a lot like Raoh's brother, little brother of the Hokto brothers, and he goes down pretty quickly thanks to the parry and thanks to the buff. So open the doorway and we go through the ticker tape parade into one of the hardest bosses in the game if you do not have damage to melt him instantly. So the strategy is the same for Ishida. At the beginning he's going to do a move that can only hit you with the projectile, so if you get behind him and stand at the right spot you can hit him and you're not going to take any damage, so you don't have to dodge. If you move out of the safe spot of that attack, you'll take damage. There's his really fast grab, and I'm going to bait his swing, dodge around it, hit him in the back, bait his swing, knock him down, execute, do the talisman. Oh, I didn't do the talisman, damn, this is risky. Do the punch, watch out for the... there it was, and my goodness. Doesn't look like anything, does it? Looks like I bullied him. Kicked him in the back a few times, did incredible damage, he never stood a chance. I watched the entirety of The Mechanic Resurrection, which is not a very good film, but I like Jason Statham. It just made no sense, that movie. It was... how do you fuck up assassinations and action movies and somehow turn them into really dull, really unimportant bullshit love affairs that didn't need to exist, and Jessica Alba there for the sake of essentially being a piece of candy at the end of the marathon for the dude to eat. Like, come on now, bad film. But I watched an entire hour and 40-minute film recording that, because that's how long it took. And it's just a case of, every time I got a good run, I ran out of stamina and I couldn't get it back, or I had to buff and he punished the buff. Or if I got the pattern that I wanted, my attack would miss because he'd dodge. Or I'd get a really unlucky move. Or I'd need him to do something and he did the complete opposite. And it was just so many times where I didn't have the stamina to win, I didn't have the damage to win. He did exactly what he needed to do. He cheesed me in so many ways. I should probably share some of those videos, because I got him down to such little life and then he'd do something fucking douchey. Or I'd get hit by a rock from the sky or something. All kinds of madness and frustrations. But, it looked easy, didn't it? Come there with the Kusarigama, armor, you can kill him in the beginning by doing Reaper behind him with a couple of buffs. He looks like an easy boss, but he's not. And if you don't have damage, he's going to show you just how diverse his moveset is. And you're going to get Azuna dropped, because I did. So thank you very much for watching, and you take care now.